This is Drew with thepodcastingstore.com, your one-stop shop for all things podcasting and remote learning.
So start off, tell me your guys' names.
Well, I'm Jam, like jelly.
Okay,
J-A-M.
J-A-M.
I'm Caden.
Caden?
Yeah.
So what brings you guys down here for CMEA?
Well, we're both music ed students at UNC,
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
and we went to Midwest our freshman year, and I don't know, we just thought to go here this year.
Yeah.
So what, are you guys instrumentalists, vocalists?
Instrumentalists.
Yes.
We're both euphonium players.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. What are some of your questions with podcasting or some of the equipment here? Because, I mean, I could talk for days
Yeah.
on all this stuff.
I just think it's trying to build out what you would need and realizing, like, I don't need to go crazy on this because I
Oh,
know it can
not
get
at all.
very expensive very easily.
Yeah, really, we actually figured out we could get somebody into this for less than like $150.
Oh, wow.
And, I mean,
That's pretty good. Even just using this for, like, a Zoom setup.
yes, and that's really kind of how this started. Like I've told other people, when COVID happened, nobody could get cameras, so we started figuring out, let's just use phones. I have an Android. I use a program called Droid Cam.
Okay.
It's free. When we're doing live streaming stuff like this, I'll sometimes use another thing called OBS.Ninja.
Yeah.
And have you guys ever used that?
I've used OBS.
Okay. So you know OBS Ninja, where you can just type into a search on your phone and it'll add it as a source into
Yes.
OBS. Again, starting off, it could be as low as $150 for
Yeah.
quality to start. Yeah, I've seen a couple options where you can get it a lot cheaper, but the microphones just aren't there.
No. And then I see you're running through Zoom, a
Yes.
Zoom recorder.
So this is a Zoom P4
Okay.
PodTrack recorder. The cool thing with it is I don't need a computer.
Yeah.
I can go on location, set up a couple microphones.
Because it has an SD card.
It has an SD card, and it actually records individual tracks plus the stereo, if I remember correctly.
Okay, that's cool. So
Wow.
if you mess up one track,
If you mess up one track, you haven't killed everything.
yeah. Because another thing is not having versatility with this, being able to record music as well too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So are you guys a teacher or going in for teaching or performance?
Ed.
Education, yeah.
Ed. Well, I can tell you that I've actually used this system to do a couple of concerts for live streaming.
Okay. Because I feel like nowadays, especially if you have a small concert hall, you don't want to feel like you're excluding parents if they don't feel safe.
Exactly. And that's really where I think we're kind of heading in society is how do we make a concert live stream that actually will still bring people.
It's not just someone's phone, because that's how some of our recital programs go. It's just someone's phone recording a live stream.
Really?
Or like the oldest Zoom recorder possible that does video and audio.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Because
That's about 15 years old.
I don't know about you, Caden, but my jury video this semester, I can't hear myself. And one of the brass faculty, he started messing with it and moving it in the middle of my performance, and that really messed me up.
Yeah. I can barely hear mine.
He's just like, the audio's there, I promise. And I tried going into an editing thing and bumping up the levels, and it's
Just not there.
it's not there, and it's not good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Honestly, if you guys are getting into being teachers, this is something I think that really is going to continue to expand.
Because you don't have to have a mic that goes into XLR through a Zoom. 'Cause
No.
for video lessons, I just had like a desktop mic from like a King B. It was like the $80 desktop mic,
Yeah.
and it works just fine. And I was given a Yeti, like one of the Yeti,
Snowball.
not the Snowball, the taller one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I know that one's a little bit better, and
Yeah, it
it's
is.
all USB, so it just makes it easier. But again, it's like you're not getting as good audio quality without an XLR.
One of the biggest things I will always tell people is it's not so much the microphone choice as the microphone placement.
That's also true.
Especially if you're doing like a classical recording of a baritone or euphoniums, excuse me. If you're in a hall like that, you really want to still be close to the source, but still have enough distance that you get some of the air of the room.
Exactly. Yeah, I think
And-
for me, I had my professor recommended that I have my mic right above my bell and just a little bit up, just so it's getting the room, but it's getting that core sound still.
That It would work.
Recording euphonium is weird.
It's like recording French horn.
Especially when you only have a desktop microphone.
Yeah.
It's like, what other choices do you have than to just get the euphonium and not really focus on the room?
There are options. Generally, when you're dealing with classical recordings, they're using a type of microphone that has what's called an omnidirectional pickup.
Yeah, okay.
And those, you understand an omnidirectional pickup?
Caden's not much into technology, but I am.
Okay. So that's how you get a lot of that signal source plus the room.
Okay.
Especially if you get into recording orchestras regularly, you're going to start probably looking at like a Deca-tree recording.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to, because we talked about being able to record for an educational setting and you're using it in the classroom only. I think as long as the school that I'm with is okay with it. But it'd be fun to like record it and play it back to the students to see how do you feel like, because that's such an important tool for us as soloists, like doing
it's like,
solo
what are
work.
you guys hearing that you don't think is really
like, what do you think you did?
Yeah.
Because it's like, we'll do a reflection. It's like, how do you think you did? How do you think you portrayed it? And then after, what did you actually hear? And I think that would be a super important tool for students, at least like upper middle and then high school level.
Oh, absolutely. And even younger.
Even younger, just like assessing like, oh, did we all stay on beat?
Did you stay on beat? Did you play the right note? Yeah, the partial may be wrong, but was the fingering
was the
right?
technique correct?
Yes.
To what we discussed. But
And microphones don't lie.
no, they don't.
They do not lie, and that's one of the most frustrating things about it, because I started actually recording myself when I was in college, playing my French horn, and I thought I would play this run just beautifully, and then all of a sudden
I thought there'd be so much expression.
I was like, what?
Yeah. My attacks aren't good. I thought the phrasing I'm doing is good enough, but
Yeah.
so I think like microphones is not the biggest concern right now, just because what I have works. It's just the monitoring and the having headphones.
Okay.
Because I feel like having good headphones can really help. Because I also do some video editing, so like mixing audio, and like having shitty headphones sucks.
Do you know what you want to use for an audio program?
Right now I'm just using Audacity just because it's free.
Get away from it.
I know. It sucks.
It's not that. It's last I knew they were sharing information of the people that download it.
Oh, really?
Yes. So
All
your
right, well,
information's not safe.
It's not currently on my newest computer, so it's
Okay. I like to use a program called Ardour, A-R-D-O-U-R.
okay.
It's open source.
I see.
So
I feel like that's a lot of big thing coming up now. So many programs are now becoming open source or just available to everyone.
I was really frustrated with Pro Tools subscription system.
Like Pro Tools or just any other DAW.
Yeah. And I'm finding with this Ardour, I can do multi-track recording, no problem. I've got a massive computer down here. It's 64 gigs RAM, 16 cores.
It's like it does everything.
Yeah. And I haven't had a problem. So.
Yeah, that's interesting to hear. And
if you're looking for an interface, do you want to multi-track record at once, or are you just wanting something to put audio into a computer?
I think like it would be more cost effective to just do put it into the computer, being able to connect an XLR into a computer.
Okay.
But I think for like longevity, and if let's say some of my students are doing like solo and ensemble or an INE, there's just like, and something comes up and we need to just send in recordings, or like if a student wants to, especially now doing pre-screen auditions, I think just giving them the opportunity to be like, yeah, if you set up a time with me, I can sit and you have a 30-minute window and we can try and record.
Yep.
And if it's like, or you want to record something for, I don't know, a concert.
I will tell you from experience, usually figure in that when you buy a new piece of equipment, like a DAW, or not DAW, an interface, usually figure that you're going to replace it every 10 to 15 years.
Exactly. That's because I'm also into camera and video.
Yes.
It's like,
well, camera and video, I mean, those
my
things
camera is like from 2008,
Oh.
and it still gets me jobs.
Okay. What do you got?
A 5D Mark II. And I just traded in another camera that was handed down to me. It was a Canon 80D. I traded that in, paid only $100 for a Canon 1D Mark IV, because I do a lot of sports photography. Especially,
Okay.
I'm one of the sports photographers at UNC. So There's like 2 different cameras, do 2 different things, and there's still a professional body, so it has everything that I need that can keep up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, knowing like that's the thing is like, that's my philosophy is like buy the best thing you can afford right now.
Yep.
Because it'll just last that much longer.
Yep.
If you're facing a unique problem with podcasting or remote learning, we can help. Reach out to us at thepodcastingstore.com and we'll see what solutions we can find for you. And if you like what you hear, do me a favor and tell a friend. Follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and sign up for our e-newsletter, and you'll never miss another podcast or video again. This is Drew with thepodcastingstore.com. Thank you for listening.